Hello and welcome. My name is Meepolis, they, she, he, and this is Literally Graphic. And today we are looking at the Indigenous comic book anthology Sovereign Traces, Volume 1, Not Just Another, edited by Gordon Henry Jr. and Elizabeth LaPonce, published by Michigan State's Niigaanwewidam in print in 2018. Content notes for violence, colonization, nudity, gambling, and an anti-Asian slur. An anthology comic, but a pretty short comic anthology. We have stuff by writers Stephen Graham Jones, Gordon Henry, Gerald Vizenor, Warren Carey, Niigaanwewidam James Sinclair, Louise Erdrich, Joy Harjo, Richard Van Camp, Gwen Westerman, illustrations by Delicia Williams, Neil Shannon-Capo, GMB Chomanchuk, Nicholas Burns, Elizabeth LaPonce, Washoya Alvitra, Donovan Yashik, and Tara Ogek. One of the very few Indigenous anthologies I've read from the so-called USA. Proportionally, I have definitely read more Indigenous literature overall from north of the colonizer border. Not a huge deal, but it did seem to mean that I had read fewer of these people previously, although some have certainly been on my TBR for a while. What kinds of keywords came to mind? Werewolves, family, resource extraction, and isolation. The Goodreads description is, quote, by merging works of contemporary North American Indian literature with imaginative illustrations by U.S. and Canadian artists, Sovereign Traces, Volume 1, Not Just Another, provides a unique extended possibility for audiences to engage with works by prominent authors through this exciting medium. Sovereign Traces beckons to audiences that are both new to and familiar with Native writing, allowing for possibilities for reimagined readings along the way. Readers will find work of graphic literature uniquely including both poetry and fiction, end quote. As things go with anthologies, writing and art changes every few pages. Not all of it to my taste, but each of them had something to offer. Gender representation felt fairly binary but well balanced between those two extremes. Sexuality was a bit tertiary, but overall pretty heteronormative. Class wasn't a focus, but it felt like there was some pretty good representation, or at least people who felt relatable to my overworked working-class millennial heart. The social construct of race was obviously the focus of this collection. This was certainly its strongest point, but also a bit of an Achilles heel. Mostly this boils down to the use of the anti-Asian G-slur in the second-to-last story. For context, not justification, the character in question is not a good guy, who we seem to be encouraged to emulate. I just also don't see the point. There's a lot of creative ways to show hateful people that doesn't include straight up and unedited slurs. And finally, with the giant caveat that I might have missed something, nothing related to being anything less than perfectly able-bodied seemed to come up. To conclude, this anthology was more of a mixed bag than usual. I'm a bit torn between a high 2 out of 5 stars and a low 3 out of 5 stars. Bye y'all, keep reading and organized to end capitalist oppression. And as always, Literally Graphic is created on land that should be given back to the traditional landholders, which in this case is, to my knowledge, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation.